About 12 years ago, I started growing things for my restaurant. And I lived on a little property in Malmesbury that was an acre. And there was an old saying that you could feed a family on an acre of land. And I knew that my little cottage had had 7 people living in it. If I could grow the fruit and vegetables on my acre of land for the restaurant, it would be fulfilling that notion that you can actually grow food locally that is just enough and have fresh, beautiful produce for the people that you serve in a restaurant. 5 years ago, my wife and I moved to a property called Babington Park in Lionville. It was settled by Europeans in the 1850s. In a 30-year period, they cut down most of the trees. It was turned over to farming land because of its dirt. It was particularly good soil for growing root vegetables. 22 years ago, the people who had owned this property for the best part of a century wanted to sell it. It was not really viable anymore. In that 22 years when their farm was non-viable, the world has changed really dramatically. On our 22-acre or 23-acre piece of this property, I can grow enough fruit and vegetables and flowers that even if I didn't have a restaurant that I funneled it all into, we could make a really good living out of this, because we now, in that short space of time, we value land, we value water. We've learnt an incredible amount about how fragile all our systems are. It's an amazing turnaround for me that in that 20-odd years, 1/4 of this farm can actually make a living for somebody.
Do you know the beautiful thing about asparagus is that it will be here for 25 years.
We use all the produce that we grow here for my little restaurant in Trentham called De Fermier. I cook a very traditional French farmhouse style of food. So the sort of vegetables that we grow here are perfect for that cuisine. So a lot of root vegetables, beans, tomatoes, peppers, just all the classic vegetables. We grow beautiful berries here, beautiful rhubarb. All our fruit trees are flourishing. They'll come later as they get older and bear a lot of fruit. The premise of it is that it's picked and it's taken to the restaurant and it's cooked. It's cooked by me. I don't have a team of cooks. I do have a little team of gardeners to help me here because I can't do all of it. It's that beautiful personal relationship between taking a seed, setting it into a little seed pot, having it germinate, planting it out, often planting it out again, tending it for weeks or in some cases months, and then taking it back into the restaurant as a dirty, grubby thing that gets washed and loved, prepped, and brings delight to other people. So it's a circular notion of using the land as carefully and as responsibly and as regeneratively as we can, not wasting it on just letting it sit idle because we come and visit it for every second weekend or whatever, but also bringing joy and making people feel loved in the restaurant sense, reminding them of food that is fresh, that hasn't been transported, miles and miles, that respects both the environment and them, because cooking a beautiful meal for somebody is showing respect to them as a person as well. And it gives me hope for the future that we will have more and more people who will make a change of being very considered about how they eat, what they eat, and where that food has come from, and whether it's had a positive impact on the environment or a negative one.
Tell Guido that you live in the best place that you can ever find.
My name is Annie Smithers, and I cook, and I garden, and I grow food. And as I've got older, I realised that I just want to work out a way where I walk a little bit more gently on the earth. And I hope that others can too.